Welcome to the How To series. The topic for this How To is using reinforcement in the early childhood classroom. You will see a variety of video examples of teachers successfully using reinforcement. Some of the children you will see may not have a diagnosis of ASD. However, the examples all depict strategies and teaching practices that can be beneficial for all students. In order to understand why reinforcement is so important, it's crucial to understand the ABCs, or antecedent, behavior, and consequence. The antecedent often includes an instruction, a cue, or a prompt that happens right before a behavior. The behavior is the student's response to that instruction, cue, or prompt. And finally, the consequence is what happens immediately after the behavior. The consequence lets a person know that they are correct or incorrect. Reinforcement is used as part of the consequence to help the student understand that he or she is doing something right. When used correctly, reinforcement increases the chances that the student will use that behavior again in the future. In other words, when we use reinforcement, we make a behavior or skill stronger. There are many kinds of reinforcement. Social reinforcement involves praise or giving a high five. Reinforcement can also involve an activity such as playing on the computer. Reinforcement can involve a preferred item such as a toy or a piece of food. It is important to remember that reinforcement must be planned for. This requires understanding what is motivating for the student. Remember, reinforcement is always individualized and based on what the student really enjoys. Let's watch our first video. In this video, you will first notice that the teacher allows the student to choose his own item for reinforcement. This way, the student chooses something that is highly motivating and is clearly something that the student enjoys.
What are you going to want? So they're going to get on your butt. A stick? These are your choices. Say that. One snake. Which one? Alright, put the cookie right here. Okay? This one's for your cookie. 20. Ow, you alright?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, look, you're finished. Take it off.
Go get on a frog.
You can put it there. Where's he go?
In my hand.
In your hand. Good job. All right, get on the stop sign.
So what did you see in the video? Hopefully, you noticed how the student chose his own reinforcer and was then immediately provided with the reinforcer after he put his backpack on. There are many different ways to provide reinforcement. Let's watch a few more examples of how to provide reinforcement. In these videos, look for the type of reinforcement used, when and how it is provided, and also look for the student's response.
Zip. Zip. Yay. Good job. Touch pig. Yay. Good job. Good job. Boy. Caterpillar. Awesome. High five. High five. Good job. What do you want?
Don't dump it.
As you can see, the teachers provided a variety of different reinforcers. The reinforcement was provided based on the student's response or behavior. The reinforcement was provided immediately after the child performed the request or behavior. Now that you have seen several different examples of reinforcement, remember these important tips. Providing reinforcement rewards students for completing a requested behavior or task. Reinforcement should be individualized based on the student's preferences. Reinforcement should be provided immediately after the student performs the behavior or task. Finally, remember that using reinforcement increases the likelihood that the desired behavior will occur again in the future.